Alright, so this is Rajajackson, son of professional fighter Rampage Jackson, and this is Army veteran Syko Stu. He's a professional wrestler in his own right. Now, one thing you have to understand about Rajajackson is he ain't no bitch, bruh, and you better not even let the idea of him being a bitch cross your mind, cause he'll kick your ass, and we got to see that firsthand on the best streaming platform ever made, Kick.
I'm Jewish, you guys know that. Hitler was a great leader. I'm not gonna make it in jail, bro. I'm not gonna fucking make it in jail. They're gonna widen my asshole and fuck me. Fuck them.
Riveting platform for sure. Now, on August 23rd at a KnockX Pro Wrestling event, Rajajackson was walking around, live streaming, meeting the wrestlers, just seeing what's going on. And what a lot of people don't realize about Rajajackson is that he lost every football game he ever played as a child. He was shoved into lockers, got punched in the mouth, and everybody hated him. He just smelt repulsive all the time, and unfortunately, the world has no sympathy for people like that. But either way, when walking backstage and greeting the wrestlers, Raja runs into the hulking albino gorilla known as Syko Stu. And what Mr. Stu Solik doesn't seem to understand is that Mr. Raja Red Pill was just a bystander here. With this confusion, Syko Stu seems to misinterpret Raja as a worker. So, while fully in character, Big Man Stu takes a beer can, smashing it into the side of Mr. Jackson's cool-headed face. Now, this was a pretty harsh display, and dare I say, uncalled for. However, all the witnesses seem to understand that this was just a pure misunderstanding on Hunky Stu's part. Everyone except for Jackson, that is. You see, this little characterized attack on Rajajackson's chiseled Greek god face actually set off a traumatic response. To understand this, you need to realize that in high school, Mr. Jackson made an oath to himself that, quote, no one would ever make fun of him, and he was going to dish out a piece of himself to anyone who tried, because the bullies from all these years of abuse had put a little of themselves in him, if you get what I'm saying. With contempt, anger, and hatred building up in the complex mind of Raja, he decides to shake hands with Syko Stu and go his separate way, or so people think. You see, everyone including Syko Stu couldn't have comprehended the Oscar-level acting with which Raja pulled this off, managing to convince everyone that he had calmed down and was ready to move on, but carefully hiding the fact that he's actually a Sith Lord who is fully giving in to his dark side ways. So, later that night, while watching from the crowd, Raja sat there on stream, the built-up hatred from years of torment building up in his soul, until eventually... Now, dropping the act for a second, this was a brutal attack. Rajajackson not only ran in the ring, slamming Syko Stu to the ground and knocking him unconscious, but proceeded to throw nearly 27 punches that all connected to Stu's head. The crowd watched in horror at this monstrous display as Stu was beaten to the point of flatlining and bleeding profusely. Even crazier, Mr. Jackson wasn't finished and proceeded to fight back against those trying to save Syko Stu. Fortunately though, they did manage to get him away, prompting Jackson to get out of Dodge at a moment's notice while still streaming. Now later in this stream, we really get a peek into the hate-filled psychology of Mr. Rajajackson as he gets a phone call about the results of his brutal display.
I told you to double leg that motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
My bad, bruh. Yeah, man. It's all good, dog. Just a small blip in the road. Yeah, my Bert. Ain't no one about to make Big Bad Jackson look like a bitch.
Now, in all seriousness, and to give my personal opinion, I think Rajajackson not only deserves jail time and to have his career ruined over this, but I also think he should be ridiculed till his death. I think everyone should bully and make him feel like the lowest worm he is. Because, not to go full Hassan Piker here, that's the treatment psychotic narcissists like this deserve. I want to end this off by saying I do apologize if people think it's too early to make a joke out of this situation, especially considering how horrific it actually is. However, I think it's important to illustrate how pathetic Rajajackson is, and I don't think he deserves even the smallest morsel of respect. But hey, that's just my opinion.